somebody did ask me to do this shit, but I'm kind of skeptical. I did this bit live with you. I do it.
Alright.
Y'all don't even understand. This shit ain't cool. Hold up. Hold up, man. I'm like a goof ass nigga about nature. I'm like silly as shit. So y'all just looking at me like, damn. I'm for real. This shit is like nerve-wracking like a motherfucker. Here we go. Here go the poem. Goddamn. I was trying to figure out the line. Goddamn. I think I'll be bullshit. I'm dead ass serious. Here we go, yo. Here we go. Here we go. I never heard silence so loud until I stepped on this stage and observed the lyrical thirst within the eyes of these audiences. The way my presence alone demanded the attention of all those in attendance. Not to mention the conviction in my diction and the bass in my voice, and I know you all sit in those chairs in hopes that I can read the fine print. Praying that I can shed light on these dark lies. And I know you all thought you had an ally in Christ, but what if I told you all tonight that this is Jesus standing at this mic? And all them stories of temple being that of bronze and hair like wool or bull. That I've been sporting a grill and face since the golden age. From the time I told Eve and Adam not to eat that damn apple to this moment. And who has the nerve to question me? What if I told you all that a God does not exist and I have more than enough resources to prove it? See, this is how you make a perplexed, powerless people convert from biblical psalms to heartfelt poems. From the church's pew to the poetry venue by doing the exact opposite of those conductors behind the pulpit because people are tired of being lied to. How the media attempts to suppress the main issues. How preachers begin speaking in biblical tongues so the congregation does not fully understand you. See, I finally came to the conclusion that people need something or maybe someone to believe in. This may be the reason why they seek refuge within the flexible arms of religion because it poses some form of difficulty to blame a celestial being for your pain and suffering, especially if all the evidence that you possess of his existence is a book of tales that's been constantly remixed and rewritten only to cover up the loopholes in the gospel. Not to mention the heightened curiosity that people now possess his poems like this to make you go home and silently question your religion. And for a small tithe fee, the local reverend can cure you of all your ailments and his comments like that, which makes me navigate away from the collection plate because never once in life's manual did it say I must pay to have faith. And I know people gonna point their nose up at me and question the words that I speak ever so bravely. And society would like to label me a belligerent radical that should not possess the mind capacity to think against the grain, but they said the same thing about Malcolm X and Socrates. Both were gods in their own right. Coincidentally, both were killed by the same people who helped place them on their pedestal, and still I rise like an eastern star. I give life with the words I recite. I bathe in controversy while listening to the night speak of disfigured steeples and demons. See, we would be more powerful as a people if we transfer these religious energies into the troubled souls we see daily. Not some celestial being, but our own strengths and abilities. Remember the countless times you gotten yourself out the dark and into the light, alone and on your own. You should have been known the power of you long before this poem. Why do you think so many religious folks come to these poetry venues? It's not to question their faith, but they need someone real to rebuke. One of blood and flesh, so here I stand. Another passion spitting savage. A man who was in tune with knowledge 360 degrees outside the norm and beyond the realm. In the same way God's tale came to be. People gonna sit around trees and speak of me and the horrid rubbish that came from my poetry. And in my afterlife, I'ma laugh to keep from crying because people not fully understand why they claim to have a religion in the first place. Because like lies, it's been passed on from generation to generation to keep a powerful people at bay. So we are unfamiliar with our own supremacy. Timid when it comes to displaying the vividness of our voice. We will continuously live in the bad shadows of tomorrow because we refuse to exude the potent glow that we possess today. We keep it hidden like the skeletons in our cobweb crowded closets while wearing our excuses like a badge of honor upon our chest, carrying the weight of the world upon our shoulders because we would much rather blend in than to be different. $1,000,000 dreams with the poor man mentality never got anyone anywhere. Therefore, like a god amongst mortals, I speak my mind with a skilled and intricate tongue, slicing and questioning these published theories because I'm not good one to believe in everything I hear and read. You're gonna have to show me because you ain't just gonna piss on my head and tell me it's raining. So I live my life one day at a time. Not getting caught up in all the religious hype, but using these open mics to edutain against the grain. Attempting to convince people not to have so much faith in their God, but more assurance in self. And by some strange force, I am punished for providing people with a sense of hope that once again you would have succeeded in chastising all those who forced others to think, wonder, and question. Just ask John Milton about the paradise he lost, and he'll reference you to this poem that sung of sweet silence and strength in self. Because I am fully competent of the word omnipotent, and if God is all these things, then he would have known that one of his own wasn't fit to wear the wings of an angel in the first place. Amen. Checkmate. Done. Please.